Now, South Africa's ambassador to Algeria, Masetlha, has been described as loving and supportive. He's been laid to rest today in Johannesburg. Masetlha died at the age of 68 after a long illness. He had a long career in government, having served as Director General of the National Intelligence Agency, among other things. He was a member of the Umkhonto weSizwe and was deeply involved in the anti-apartheid movement. Let's take you to our senior reporter, Aviwe Mtila, who is attending the funeral. He joins us now live. Aviwe, loved ones and comrades have paid respect and tribute to Masetlha. Tell us how his family says it will remember him.
Well, as a compassionate man and really loving all for the family, Masetlha, you just have to look at the dignitaries that graced this funeral here to understand how maybe important he was to society. Just the likes of former President Kgalema Motlanthe, the Minister of Home Affairs, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, the Speaker of Parliament, Nosfiro Mapisa-Nqakula, just some among those that actually filled the Methodist Church here in Bryanston. Not only them, you get celebrities that actually came out, musicians that came out in their numbers as well. Sipho Hotsticks Mabuse to bid their final farewell to a person really that served the country in terms of the liberation struggle itself and dedicated his life, majority, of course, to the betterment of the country. In fact, you get those sentiments here in a somber tribute that was read out there from the wife, the kind of husband and father he was to the family itself. And I just want to take a listen, Masetlha, to some of those sentiments that were shared there by the family in terms of the man that he was for the family here.
We are taught to be humble. We were taught to be warm. We were taught to love each other. And that has been extended even to our relatives. Billy, Kisia Billy Kajaraiwan. And I have always been with him every step of the way. Every step of the way.
Quite an emotional sister there, Aviwe, but Dr. Masetlha has also had a very long career in government. How did his comrades describe him today?
A very long career and actually cutting his teeth as a young politician back in the 70s, Masetlha. Remember, he was arrested for 2 years. That's for refusing to turn state witness against then leaders such as Joe Gabi. He then went on, of course, Masetlha, to be part of the uprising in 1976 on the 16th of June. Of course, that saw a lot of young learners massacred there by the then apartheid regime. Of course, he'd then go on, Masetlha, in 1979 to be a founder of the Congress of South African Students, that's COSAS, and then later on also the Azanian Student Organization. He was more Pan-Africanism more than anything in his beliefs. But of course, he was part of those that were exiled, Masetlha, exiled in Botswana as well as in Zambia. But upon return in South Africa, he then, of course, on the advent of democratic South Africa, played key roles in the government itself. He was the DG, for example, of Home Affairs, and I actually spoke to the Home Affairs Minister, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi, who shared some fond memories. That was before his time, of course, as Minister. He was then the MEC in Limpopo, Dr. Aaron Motsoaledi himself. He also went on, of course, as we do know, to be the head of intelligence, the National Intelligence Agency, up until 2006. But his latest role, of course, was abroad in Algeria as the ambassador representing the country there up until he took his dying breath after succumbing, of course, to that long illness. Some of the people that were also inside here were the Secretary General of the African National Congress, Fikile Mbalula, who also gave a touching tribute. Let's take a listen to the SC of the ANC.
He died for his country, and greater devotion hath no man than this. He died unquestioning, uncomplaining, with faith in his heart and hope in his lips that his country should triumph and its civilization survive. As a typical soldier of our democracy, he fought and died, believing in the indisputable justice of his country's cause. We too, on behalf of the African National Congress, have come to convey our heartfelt condolences to the Masetlha family. We have come to pay our last respect to this fallen soldier of Umkhonto weSizwe. Your pain is our pain. Your loss is our loss.
All right, that was our senior reporter Aviwe Mtila at that funeral service for Billy Masetlha.